Hi, I'm Pooja. I'm a women's executive and leadership coach. And today I'd like to talk about the importance of your take or perspective in a given context or situation. Let me tell you a story. So I was listening to a podcast, the Ritual podcast. I'm a huge fan. And he was interviewing Peter Attia, a physician who's just come out with the book Outlive. The perspective Rich took is basically focusing on the final chapter of the book, which was on mental health. But Peter Attia got pretty vulnerable about some of the challenges that he's been facing over the last couple of years. But knowing Peter Attia's emphasis on longevity, which is essentially what the book is about, I wanted to know more. And so I heard another episode, this time by Tim Ferriss, where he's interviewing Peter Attia. Now, anyone who knows Tim Ferriss knows that he gets super details with the tactics that you need to employ. So the questions were very much around, when you think about nutrition, what exactly? Plant nutrition, animal-based protein, what times of the day? What about exercise? What specific exercises? So that episode was very tactical, full of those sort of checklists for these are the things you need to do in order to achieve these results. So what's my point here? My point is I heard 2 episodes from 2 different podcast hosts interviewing the same guest on the same book that just came out, all within a couple of weeks of each other. But yet, they were completely different episodes. It was a completely different perspective. Learning about sort of mental health challenges and the vulnerability on the Ritual podcast, which is right up Rich's alley, if you will, and then learning about the very specific tactics for longevity and how you can implement them on the Tim Ferriss show, right up his alley, all together kind of formed a more complete picture of the book and of Peter Attia. Right? So when we think about our teams at work, you may be one of many project managers or designers, or maybe even a VP. And you may sometimes struggle and think, well, what's the difference, right? Like we all have the same information. What am I adding that's different? And this is what I'm going to demonstrate. Your unique experience and background gives you a unique lens through which you will see the same situation or context. The things that you will prioritize or that will stand out to you will be different than those that would stand out to me or someone else in the room. And here's the other kicker. It's not that one is better than the other. It's that together, all of that gives a very useful image, if you will, or full picture, if you will, of the whole thing. And then in the context of work, you can make better decisions going forward. You can address the right challenges. You can assess the situation much better. So when you're at work and sort of feeling like, what am I adding here? Why is this important? I want you to recognize and realize that your uniqueness and diversity that you've added is exactly why you're super important. And this is a call out to leaders that when you're forming teams, I've kind of hit this point so many times. This is why diversity is so important. We want people that have different lens, that can look at their experiences, that can bring up different ways of looking at the same thing so that together you can form a complete picture and again, make the biggest or the best right decision and make the biggest impact. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. Until next time.